Well, ladies and gentlemen. What do you want me to say? Bitcoin's gone down, yeah. Stock market's gone down, okay. XRP. But it's true though, the court case has been finalized. XRP pumps 20%, has already now dropped 5%, and I'm in a different room with these fake versions of Van Goghs and Picassos behind me. The good news is that the internet is all right in here. Now we're still going to be getting the sound sorted out. Tomorrow I'm going to go and get myself a different microphone, but we do have the echo, so please bear with me. But it seems like things are looking good for XRP. But it bounced from 50 cents and has gone all the way up to around 61, 65, whatever it is. There's probably a good chance it's going to come back down. So if you're going to be king for a day, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you pay yourselves, because you know what this asset is like. Now, with that being said, in tonight's live stream, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to break down a couple of things on what's been going on. Word on the street is that JPMorgan says that there's a buying opportunity to be had. So we'll be diving into that bad boy very shortly. On top of that, according to Goldman Sachs, the Fed ain't going to do nothing unless the stock market tells them to. But the stock market is not the economy. What? So we're not going to get any rate cuts or to the tone that they want. It's starting to look a bit fishy now, isn't it? But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, the carry trade is still going to be working, and they're only unwinding around 50% of the bets so far, so there's still more bloodshed to be had. Okay, so where's that leaving us? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I hope you are here, to find out exactly what we can expect going into tonight and what we can expect throughout the rest of the week, because it's only Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, and there's no news really coming out, but we had some bad news today. No one really wants the bonds, but I'll be explaining that very shortly. So if you are new to the channel, welcome to Traders Reality. My name is Tino. I'm in this supposedly business conference room. There is like this massive fat mirror in front of me, which is kind of cool. But let's get with the program and break it all down. Here we go. Please tell me the sound works. Please tell me it's all good. What's going on? What is good? I ain't ever getting rid of my XRP. Just feel a bit embarrassed when it moves up because I know it's going to come straight back down again. So what am I going to get excited for? Let's be honest. Let's get with the program. So, market bottom, apparently. JPMorgan is suggesting that this is a big buying opportunity. But don't worry. You might not want to be buying just yet because the article gives but then takes away. It says that the market could effectively be in line for another correction, but it's still deemed as a good buying opportunity. Right now, we know that the Japanese yen have increased their interest rates. We know that they're not going to be increasing them in any time in the future. That only means what? That the yen is primed to effectively come back down, which means that the carry trade principle could actually continue, but not until they're unwinding other positions. Takes us over to this article over here. Unwinding of the yen carry trade still threatens the market, say analysts. For 3 days now, they've been mentioning that this carry trade principle is still going to be happening, which means that investors who are caught up in positions where they had borrowed yen and then they had sold it to go and buy dollars, those dollars are still in the stock market or wherever they have put the risk, okay? So the idea is now that they have to pull that risk, sell the dollars, convert them back into yen, pay the outstanding loans that they have got by borrowing yen, and hopefully try and make a little bit of a penny. But the good news today was that the Bank of Japan have effectively given this dovish tone. That means that they're not going to be increasing the interest rates because the Bank of Japan can't allow the yen to inflate too much because then it will start to hurt the import-export environment. And that's not what they're about. So we know that the carry trade principle could still continue. They're 50% of the way, according to JPMorgan. But according to JPMorgan, the market is still probably due to recover and make a move to the upside. So it's a buying opportunity. It's not going to happen overnight, ladies and gentlemen. That's the truth. Remember, they took off $6.7 trillion worth of wealth from the stock market, and that was in a couple of days. So it might take a little while to get all these people convinced that the market is going to continue. But when you read articles like this, where it says here why the Fed does have to worry about the stock market's impact on the economy, according to Goldman Sachs, well, if we go down into this area here, it says here that with the US GDP growth sitting above 2%, it would take a further 20% sell-off for the stock market to single-handedly push the economy into a recession. So the stock market is responsible for the United States to go into a recession. Going further down, it says we expect, where is it? Hold on. Here we go. Such sharp interest rates cuts would help consumers with lower costs of debt, and it could unfreeze the housing market. But at the same time, Goldman Sachs did say that the S&P is only down 7% from its all-time high. And Goldman Sachs says that's not big enough drawdown for the Fed to step in. So by that token, can we assume that the markets are going to correct even further? I'm still in my short on the NASDAQ, and I've been getting bullied by the NASDAQ. But I'm still in the narrative that the NASDAQ and the stock market is going down because we're not ready for those cuts. Or should I say, we're not close towards September just yet. And we're not getting an inkling as to whether or not the rate cuts are going to be high or they're just going to be a rate cut. And is it going to be sustained? Is it going to be enough to warrant everyone thinking, yeah, now's the time to go and buy dollars and use those dollars and put them to work? So far, we're in a good little $1,000 profit on our personal account over here. All right. Now, the main news that happened today, guys, was the fact that the bonds themselves had a poor sell-off. So the government offered these bonds and traders, investors weren't interested. Go over to the actual data itself and you can see that it came in at 3.96 over 2.3. That means the bid to cover ratio was lower. That means there's not really a demand for the bonds. What does that mean? If they're not looking to go into the US bonds on the 10-year bond and they're not looking for investments in that asset class, it only means they're looking for investment somewhere else. And that, ladies and gentlemen, would be your dollar. But unfortunately, that doesn't make sense. No, that's not right. Has the dollar just done that? Whoa. What is going on there? Is that the dollar? Is that me? Ladies and gentlemen, get your USDT charts up. Your dollar charts. That doesn't make sense. Is that right? That's not 0.34%. Don't be silly. Don't tell me that's the... What is that? That means euro should have shot up. No, it hasn't. What's going on there? That's a surprise. I'm really shocked about that. What the hell? That to me is in principle good news. That's bizarre. That's very bizarre. Where's NASDAQ? Wait a second. NASDAQ's trading lower, so that could mean that there's going to be a gap down. They're back into the green vector candle recovery point. Whoa. Hold on, guys. Hold on. The bonds have shot up. The yields have shot up. 10-year coming down, still trading. Why is dollar like that? Your Dixie is fine. Glitch. How is my chart? How is my chart? Never mind. Well, I'll deal with that later on. Never mind. Well, that's just really shocked me right now. Hold on, where's oil doing? Oil's doing fine. Happy days for oil because we did very well with that with our trade setups today, ladies and gentlemen. Just go over to that. Where's oil? There we are. So that did really well. I'll be talking about that very shortly because I did take a trade on Bitcoin earlier on. And what I'm going to be explaining to you is if you really use leverage properly, you can make some money with it, but you've got to be using a small amount of liquidity And you've got to be priming yourself for a specific play to come into action. And that involves looking at the charts. Okay. Now, let me just talk about what's actively going on right now. Yes, this is the story. XRP is actually doing well. Let's just go over and have a look at XRP. The court case has been settled. What have you just done, Tino? Oh, my days, man. Add that back. Let's go back into this. Put this bad boy up. Come on. I ain't got time for this. Here we go. XRP. Nice move to the upside, ladies and gentlemen. The court case seems to be going in the favor. Ripple shall pay 125 million in civil penalties and cease any further violations of securities laws, concluding the protracted 4-year legal dispute with the SEC. Congratulations, XRP holders. We made it, baby. XRP to $10,000. Here we go. Sell the news event, quite frankly. That's what I think this is. I think this is sell the news event. And I hope I'm wrong. Because the only way that this is not going to be a sell the news event is XRP is going to make its way to $1 without hesitation. That should then send people crazy. But you can see that the court case itself hasn't really been giving XRP a problem. It's been able to make these moves anyways. For me to believe that this is not sell the news event, in Asia tonight, there should be a huge amount of purchases in XRP coming from the Asian session, because this news just came in, okay? So we're going to be seeing in the pre-markets, of course, not pre-markets, but there's going to be a lot of activity going off in the Asian session. So just take that into consideration, ladies and gentlemen, okay? But it's good news for the XRP holders. Unfortunately, a whale has moved 244,000 Solana to the sum of 35,297,248 from an unknown wallet to Binance. Now, they're saying it could be a strategic move, or they could effectively be looking for liquidity. Going over into Solana itself, you can see that Solana is not really going down, but it's actually pulled back, and it's seeing a little bit of success at the psychological ranges. Let me explain to you what's going on with BTC. She's made a move to the downside, and earlier on in the Discord, I'll show you. Earlier on in the Discord, I shared this image with the guys, and I said to them while I was on my travels that we've effectively got Bitcoin doing this move. I don't know if you can see it right here. All right, so if I open it in a browser, then you should be able to see it. Here we go. So what I was doing as I was on my travels, I was expecting that the price point right here around the 55,000 could be on the cards if the retrace back up and continuation lower was going to be played on, because the stock market was going down and it was suffering quite aggressively. So we wanted to see if Bitcoin was really going to show the worth of a retrace up to then continue lower. Okay, that's the image that I shared. And we actually said in there, we were saying if they recover towards the Brinks low and fail, continuation on to the downside is on the cards. Okay. And we were talking about the 55K region here. Daily open, Bitcoin may pick up steam to the downside. Anticipate that they can't recover the red vector candle in the 5-minute time frame. It's already there. We should see the 55K region. Well, anyway, we were trading that logic to see Bitcoin go towards the 55K zone, and they took the 55K zone. And this is where I decided to take the trade. Okay, so it was inside of this area right here. And when I say you're looking for a red vector candle to break to the narrative to the downside, because I was expecting Bitcoin to come down anyway from this consolidation range, okay? And I was aiming towards the Asian session low, and I was looking for vector candles down in these ranges over here. Now, this is on the 5-minute time frame. Now, let me show you the trade. The trade itself was, oops. Now, you're going to laugh at this. You probably laugh at it and think, well, that was crazy. But I've been using leverage for a long time. And the sweet spot to leverage is to use small capital, increase your leverage, but make sure you're trading a momentum. That's what you're looking for. So here it is right here. I opened it at 498x. Yeah, you're probably thinking, what the hell? Which is true. But I know what I'm doing at this point in time in the chart, and I've been watching Bitcoin all day, okay? I opened the position at time of execution. When was it? Well, hold on a second. I've got it here. Here we go. Here is the position. We opened at 55,974. and we closed it off at 55,285. Not bad. 498x, not bad. We took it for $1,968. That was actually nearly 3.5 grand, but I missed out closing for a profit. So I left some on the table, but I risked $317. The move that I caught, ladies and gentlemen, was right here. And all I saw was the red vector candle breaking. So 55,974. That was my entry point right there. A red vector came. I'm looking at the chart. What did they not do? Well, they haven't recovered this blue vector candle. I saw the momentum pick up. Bang, it came down. Then when you're waiting for a recovery of the red vector candle, if they cannot get above that red vector candle region, then your trade is good. That's exactly what they did. They came back up. They couldn't continue. They rolled over even further to the downside. I closed off on this move right here. 55,000, where was it? I don't even know where I closed it off at. 55,285. So I closed it off 285 inside of this range right here. So I left some on the table. 85. There you go. Just right in that candlestick. I left some on the table. Cost me $317. Take off the fees, puts me at $1,900. I'm using a small amount of liquidity. Yeah, I'm using big leverage, but I'm using a small amount of liquidity. That's why I say to you, if you're going to use leverage, keep it as cheap as possible. Only trade momentum. Look at the structure of the chart. I've been watching Bitcoin all day. All day. They moved away from the Brinks box and they weren't going to go back into it. And then they consolidated sideways. The blue vector candle was right there, ladies and gentlemen. So I was trading into that logic. And if they were going to reverse from that point, because they swept the liquidity and the stock market was continuously dropping as well, NASDAQ was bringing pressure. And when we saw NASDAQ going down, I was seeing my position working in my favor. I'm looking at that with NASDAQ. That's a long-term play with NASDAQ. But shared this projection earlier on today. M formation dropped to the downside. If they could hold the VWAP itself, happy days. But they collapsed from the VWAP and they came all the way back down to the daily open. The Platinum members got that heads up. They got all that heads up. Happy days. This was the post that I did this morning. And of course, I updated the guys afterwards. Now, if you're not part of the Platinum membership, what I do is I go into the Discord and I do these posts every single day, videos or written. I'm seeing a lot of people liking the written, so I'm going to be using the written post where I do give down a breakdown and the structure of what I expect from certain assets. You get 20% off that membership if you join in the month and you use the code new member. Okay, you get 20% off that. So go to the Traders Reality, go to the memberships tab, check that out if you want to get involved in this sort of behavior in the marketplace. All right, where we do share projections and everyone's sharing projections. Get involved with the Platinum membership and you'll be able to see from my perspective when I'm taking specific trades. I didn't share the trade, okay, but I shared the logic of price going down. I shared the trades earlier on in the day. That's what this is here. And these are trades that I set up for the rest of the day. Like after this, I'll be doing another trade setup for the Asian session, which is going to factor in what's going on with XRP and Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin right now doesn't seem like it wants to continue to the upside. And the news event with XRP is just probably only favorable for XRP. Going into the high time frames for Bitcoin, you can see we've got a couple of vector candles down below that are posing as a bit of a problem for us. Now, with JPMorgan saying that the market is heading into a bottom and we could see a little bit more of a correction as a buying opportunity, just be mindful. Let Bitcoin sweep this range. Because if you're going to try and run shorts from this range for the day traders, all right, don't even dare using too much leverage. If you do use leverage, you keep it bloody cheap. Do not risk too much margin. I'm using $300, ladies and gentlemen. $300 margin gets me nearly $2,000 gain, 600% on the actual trade. Okay, happy days, and that's what I look for. I don't put up 6-7 grand and then I use 100x. You gotta be wild. Nah, man, I'm using market makers' money. He's coming to the table and saying to me, here you go, Tino, have some leverage. And I'm like, no problem. Let me just take a little bit of my cash because I'm borrowing money. You go and buy a house. What do? You put 10%. They give you the rest of it. Well, that 498x is the market maker giving me his cash. I go in, take a couple of stabs, take his cash and leave. But you've got to be able to time it because you've got to have the structures in play. You've got to look sideways, vector candles. The general market is selling off. They've lost the daily open. Look left. Do you have a zone that you can trade into? Asian session sweep. Go look left. Is there a vector candle region? Yes, there is. And there's nothing else you can do. Worst case scenario, I lose $300. So what? I was happy to take the trade. I was happy to take the loss. There's nothing else that can happen. And I have no control of what can happen other than how much I'm prepared to lose. Maybe could have risked about $500 on the trade. Okay, I'll take that. It can lose a bit more. All right, but you take the trade, don't hesitate and go in for the kill. But do not use too much margin on your trading, ladies and gentlemen. Don't. You're not going to last 5 minutes. Keep it cheap. Okay. Now, with that being said, a quick one for you all. Of course, BTCC, we've got a trading competition on. You have to join BTCC with the Traders Reality link, which is in the description, and then head over to this page right here, which is in the link again in the description, and join the actual trading competition. $60,000 prize pool is up for grabs. So it's going on for a month, so don't miss out on that. 29 people have already joined it, so I haven't refreshed it yet. So get yourself involved in that, and you'll be able to take part in the prize pool itself. Now, questions, if you have any. Tino, look at Euro. It's ready to explode. Let's have a look at Euro. Do we have any questions with regards to what we've just said? Okay. What we've just said, do we have any questions? Is your liquidation your stop loss? No. My liquidation is not my stop loss. I do not let my liquidation point be my stop loss. No chance. That trade I would take about $500-600 loss max because I got to give it a chance. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Done. Most I can lose is $500. Okay. I'm not in the right trade. I'm not going to play scalper turn swing trader. I've done that too many times. No, thank you. Not doing it. Bitcoin up or down? Sarcasm, yeah. Why did you not use the whole number on your leverage? Only you would ask that question, bro. What exchange did you use all that leverage? BTCC. That's the exchange right there. Great for Americans because you don't need KYC and you do not need VPN. Just do not deposit with fiat. You will need KYC for the fiat deposits. But with crypto deposits, you don't need it, okay? But do not use leverage that you are not comfortable with. I'm showing you an example. It would have been reckless of me if I was using 500 to 1 leverage. Now remember, I'm coming from a Forex background, ladies and gentlemen. I'm used to this leverage. What 100x is to you guys in cryptocurrency, 500 to 1 leverage to me in Forex, okay? And it's not that much. I was using 5,000 to 1 leverage and 1,000 to 1 leverage with unregulated brokers back in the day in Forex, okay? And I got burnt a few times, but I did see success when you flip $10 into 3-4 grand when you're using so much leverage. But then, of course, the SEC starts stepping in, IMF comes in, and they're like, no, thank you, you can't be doing that, cut that out. And then they slashed it back down. So standard on my Forex accounts, I'm using 500 to 1. So I'm used to that relationship. But guys in cryptocurrency, they go in with the LFG and they go all crazy, go to the moon. They're getting abused with leverage. If you're smart with leverage, you keep it cheap. You don't use your money, use theirs. And that's market maker. That's why I managed to make $2 grand with a $300 investment. and I'm picking my spots. I'm not looking for Bitcoin to the moon from now to 100K. I'm not interested in that. I'm looking at maybe Bitcoin from this range to try and come back up into the daily open. I'll open another position, say, yeah, happy days, but I'm going into Asia, so I'm not going to do anything until the Asian session opens. I'm picking my spots, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Tino, but what's the point of using such high leverage so that I don't need to stay in the trade for long? That's the whole point. Okay? I don't want to stay in the trade for too long. As a scalper, that's my nature. My goal is to get in and get out. I'm not looking to give it a life. I'm not giving the position life. I'm giving it a pathway that means you just cross over here. When you're done with the crossover, it's finished. But people then take leverage, high leverage trades on margin, and then they go to town and they put the margin down with the high leverage, and then they end up waiting for it. They lose sleep at night, then they top up the margin. You're mad. Never topping up margin. Never, because I already know what I'm going to lose on the trade. And if I'm losing on the trade, that's it. I'm out. I reevaluate. Okay? I play positions all over the place. We've got this one right here with the NASDAQ. Okay? That's doing well. Just played this one with Bitcoin. If I close this position right now, we made ourselves $1,082 right there and nearly $2,000 there, $3,000 in our trading for the day. Happy days. But I'm holding on to this one right here because I'm playing a bigger move on the NASDAQ. Okay? How do you not get liquidated instantly? Because I do have a balance in my account. But where I've picked the spot, okay, it worked in my favor because I was trading towards the vector candle. I was paying attention to how price was behaving. I noticed that the NASDAQ was starting to go down and then the S&P was going down. The result of the actual bonds market, look at what time it was. It was at 6:05 that this move started to happen. The bonds came out at 6:01 and that flopped. That led NASDAQ to go down. So NASDAQ starting to go down. Bitcoin naturally is going to follow suit. And that's what it did. That's where I opened the trade because the momentum was coming into the marketplace and I was looking to try and capitalize on the move to the downside. I caught it. And then I said to myself, if it's wrong and it goes against me, I will close it off. And it didn't. I'm working with the ifs and the whens and the if not, then what? I can't manage a trade because of how I feel. I manage the trade because of what I see. And if I see it doing something and it's not doing something else, then okay, I don't need to worry about it. This is what you've got to try and put into trading. Eliminate the idea of having to react from inside your stomach because you feel anxious or concerned about the trade or that you're using too much leverage and you're feeling emotional about it. If you start feeling emotional about a trade, your trade is pancake. It's finished. Dustbin, taxi. Get out of it. But if you are using a certain amount of leverage and margin that gives you the freedom to analyze the chart and not be worried about the exposure, then you're in tune with the way market's moving. You can then say and get the feedback from the trade and say, I don't need to worry about this. This looks like a little bit of a stop run. I'm cool with it. Does that make sense? Cross. Tino, what do you think is an absolute low for Solana? In my opinion, depending on what this dude's going to do with his Solana, that's 35 million Solana. That's a chunk of change on Solana, depending on what this wallet's going to do. Looking at Solana, and guys, it has been difficult trading these last few days. It has. You just had some crazy news announcements with the yen. And the market's waiting for Powell to do something. You've got the Middle East doing all this madness right here, okay? You've got Putin kicking it up again with state of emergency declared as Ukraine launches raid into Russia, all right? I'm trying to keep it mellow for you all and just focus on the unwinding of the yen and just saying that the stock market is due to crash, all right? We can work with that, but really things are getting a little bit difficult, okay? Lots of longs got liquidated today on Bitcoin as well. Why are they leaving the margins up there? I don't understand. That's why people look for hope. There's no hope in trading. That's a fact. The second you start hoping for price to go up, yeah, it's in the bin. You're done. Get rid of the trade. The second hope steps into play, You now going to start pleading with God. Well, God's created this mechanism for us to test ourselves and be disciplined to know when to get out of a trade and when to get into a trade. And this is the mechanics of the market. It goes up and it goes down. It's all about how you react to that. And if you're pleading, oh, I messed up, God, I messed up, God, please make it go up, please, and I'll be good and I'll close it at break even. You get to break even, you're like, yeah, baby, we're to the moon, man. Doesn't make sense. If you've got hope in your trading, stop trading. What you would like to see and the probability of an event occurring based on X, Y, and Z, that is systematic. That is logic. That is objectively addressing what you see happening. That is going to keep you in this game. Okay? The absolute low for Solana, in my opinion, will be finalized if we do come back down to this 117 mark. If the market is still tipped to actually go down, given that the NASDAQ has dropped quite aggressively and rejected from the move to the upside, you could assume that cryptocurrency is going to follow the same narrative. It all depends on how well XRP keeps on pumping. I mean, please, guys, look, it's good news with XRP. And if you guys are in a position to make money off this move and you are making money off it, please take something off the table. Pay yourselves, okay? You only need to go back in time, all right? And look at what XRP did before. You remember that pump to the upside and everyone was loving life with XRP? And I said to you all, please go to the live stream. I'm going to say it to you now. Go to the live stream on the 12th of July, 2023 in the channel, all right? I said to you all, sell your XRP. Take something off the table because they can bring it all the way back down. They will recover the vector candle. And I got messages. Tino, I'm holding. Well, that's a sad story right now because those dudes watched it just deplete to the downside. And this wasn't even to do with any court case. It was just speculation. Now we've got the court case. People are going to be feeling the same way. Why would they not do the same thing? If it's really going to pump to the price that it's going to go to, this thing's going to come all the way back down and they're going to pick up a ton of it. And then it's going to go back up. So please don't fall for the hype. Yes, the court case has been finalized. It's great news and everything. Everyone's going crazy with XRP. People are tagging me on X saying to me, yeah, Tino, yeah, XRP, dude. Yeah, baby, cool. I hold XRP. Naturally, this is a pleasant sight right now, but I'm being very cautious with it. I'm waiting for this vector to try and get recovered first before I then start thinking maybe I'll play into the idea of XRP. Okay. I don't take those trades all the time. Okay. It's when the opportunity rises. So I could take a couple of those trades in a day. I could take a couple in a week. I've been paying attention to what's going on with this NASDAQ trade. Okay. I'm waiting for that. Plus I'm not in my normal trade setup where I like to scalp. So it was just literally a chart on chart view and just focusing on the candlesticks. I took this trade simply without no exo charts, with no moving averages, no depth of market, no nothing. It was just purely watching Bitcoin's candlestick movement and witnessing what was going on the NASDAQ and the failure of the bonds market, not actually getting enough people to buy the bonds. I put two and two together, came to the chart and said to myself, okay, is it possible that Bitcoin could come back down into the recovery of that blue vector candle? Took the trade, no time to sit around and wait. No time to put confirmation on top of confirmation. Just take the trade and you'll get the feedback from being in the trade. What am I going to risk? I'm risking about $500 if it goes against me. Fine, I'm happy to do that. I take the loss and move on. It wasn't ready. If I've got the time to sit and watch it, then I will play and scale into it, drop my leverage, and then re-enter again, and then increase my leverage and add to the position. But I didn't see price moving down aggressively enough for me to warrant an add. Okay? The strategy can always change. That's what I do. What is the platform? Well, listen, if you are new to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Traders Reality. My name is Tino. I'm the madman at the charts. This is a Traders Reality. And we talk charts, we talk news, we talk XRP, we talk Bitcoin, we talk NASDAQ, S&P, okay? But what my goal is to get you to understand this game. Okay? Go to BTCC, right? It's in the description of the video and the live. If you go and join it, you don't need KYC, you don't need VPN for anyone in the United States, all right? Once you've joined it with the link to join BTCC, take part in the trading competition. All you'll need to do is just click it and it will say register, click it, and then you can go off and trade. It automatically registers you for the competition. If you've already got an account or you need to set one up, this is where you go, okay? It's in the description. But do not go, Tino, where's that 500x leverage? I've been playing the game of leverage for nearly 17 years, ladies and gentlemen, 18 nearly, okay? I've been playing the game a long time. Do not mess about with leverage. I'm serious, because you can blow your accounts. You can blow them. Keep it small. Use small leverage, use small margin. And when you've understood the novelty of execution, then you can start playing the game and increasing your margin. Anyone new to trading is not wanting, you shouldn't be coming into trading to make money, and that's a fact. Because you know that the end result of a good trade is money. So why would you focus on the money rather than not, focus on the execution? Focus on improving the chance of catching a good trade. Because you know money's going to be the end result. That's the truth. So execution is king. Forget the money. The money is the end product. Will Bitcoin move to the blue vector candle? Got my stop at 57K. You want to be focusing on the higher time frames of Bitcoin where there is any vector candles. Now, the problem that we've got is got a massive stop in volume candle, which is a wick. They like to come back to the wick, and it's more than likely that Bitcoin is going to come back to the wick. Go to the daily time frame. There is a wick down there, and that's a problem for me, okay? If Bitcoin can come back down into this wick right here, the midpoint could give us a suggestion that they could find support. But I don't think that the support's going to come into play. That's not me being negative. That's me just looking at the order flow. They're too committed with the move to the downside. Way too committed. There are orders stacking up right now. 19 million at 47,299. 26 million at 47,785. Going even further down, you can see 14 million at 46,583. Flipping it over and going over to this area right here. The biggest order that I can see got 5 million. No, let's keep on going down. I'm not seeing the big orders yet. Keep going down, keep going down. 15 million at 52,611. This is real time. And 52,600, we got 10 million. Okay. 15 million at 52,611 and 52,610, you got 10 million there. Okay. So just be mindful. The liquidity is there for them to take. They've recovered up into the offers too quick. There's not really any offers up there now. And even if Bitcoin were to go up, even if it was to go up, for me, the bigger picture says that the liquidity is even lower. So if Bitcoin's really going to go up, they need to eat this liquidity down here. They have to take it. Okay? Can you look at REC? Will $0.2 get recovered? REC. What is REC? Forgive me. Is that the ticker symbol, yeah? Okay, request snapper, sorry. $2. Will $0.2 get recovered? $0.2, $0.2, $0.2, $0.2. Will it get recovered? Okay, listen, when we get into the bigger marketplace, right? Look, listen. This is about your ability to be able to buy this asset and hold on to it. And if you can hold on to it for a period of time, they will be coming back up into the 0.20. But you have to absorb that they can come all the way down to the 5-cent mark. You have to be able to take that on the chin. You can see that red vector candle. They'll come back to that point at some stage when the next bull market comes. You're using this time to buy up at a lower cost, especially with altcoins. But improve the chance of actually getting in cheap, but as it's starting to work its way up. Dollar cost averaging is about when it's going up and you're capturing the move as it retraces. Dollar cost averaging is a little bit difficult when you're dollar cost averaging from these highs up here, because that's exactly what people will be doing. And that's exactly what people did with BTC. They were doing dollar cost averaging all the way up here. But the people that were doing it up here were retail. The other guys that were doing dollar cost averaging from here were the market makers, the bigger players that have got bigger capital to work with. They're the ones that can open shorts and then go onto spot to hedge themselves. If you're going to play these sort of situations, ladies and gentlemen, and you're doing dollar cost averaging as prices are going lower, well, if you don't want to start playing with the idea of hedging, at least give it a chance to start working its way up. So that means when you do see Bitcoin correct, this is a classic example. You've got the red vector candles to the left of the chart. This is when the interest rate started to get increased, okay? Bitcoin starts to climb up. Money is being moved around. Green vector pushes up, green vector pushes up. But you've got to take the trade. There ain't no one else going to do it for you. You have to do it. When to start DCA though? Difficult to guess the bottom. You're not guessing the bottom. Your job is not to guess the bottom. Your job is to ride the coattails. Because people are always looking for price to bottom out, and they're waiting for everyone to talk about it. When they talk about the bottom, it means that there's going to be another sweep lower before it's established to make people think that it's not the bottom, and then it makes the move. Okay? It's a simple structure, because if they do correct price all the way down to this zone, the market's memory will be triggered, especially with Bitcoin. Because the people down here that sold when Bitcoin came up here, they've got another opportunity to re-enter again. That's why you've noticed with Bitcoin's price action, takes the all-time high, comes down, clears it, comes down, takes the all-time high, comes back, tries it, fails. Now it's working its way back down again. You guys have to be prepared to accept that there is a possibility that Bitcoin could even revisit the 20K zone. It could be a possibility. And people are feeding their heads with stuff in their minds that it can't happen. And I need to understand why it can't, not from a miner's perspective. Look, we know the miners ain't making the money because they're renting out their data warehouse space to AI companies. And people say to me, you don't get Bitcoin. I'm sorry, bro. But the way I see it, Bitcoin is only as good as the price that someone's prepared to pay for it and what someone is prepared to sell it for. Michael Saylor's $49 million Bitcoin is too far away for me. I'm not interested in that. The 100K Bitcoin is closer now than it ever was. But if Bitcoin's going to keep going down and people falling into the trap of, oh my God, I don't want, no, it shouldn't, it can't. Of course it can. Of course it can drop. You can't ever say never. Bitcoin is now subject to Wall Street behavior now. They can slap the life out of Bitcoin. They don't care about your miners' positions. They don't care what miners' costs are or their fees or whether it's profitable for them or not. We want Bitcoin to be decentralized. I get all of that. And it serves a purpose. Of course it does. But Wall Street stepped in now. So now Wall Street money will dictate what Bitcoin does. And if Wall Street wants it to tank, unfortunately, it will tank. And we've just got to take it on the chin and say, okay, at least it's still $15,000. At least it's still $30,000 a coin. When you accept that you can't be married to price, then trading will be a little bit more easier for you. That's my logic. Not true. Oh, okay. Look, I'm always going to be challenging the guys in crypto. I'm just giving you an opinion. I'm just going by what I'm seeing going on across the board. When I first started live streaming cryptocurrency, Bitcoin started its bull rally from January the 21st. And then Elon comes along and says, let's buy some Bitcoin. Zoom, up she goes. All I saw was Bitcoin rally to the upside. But I've seen 2007, 2008 subprime mortgage crisis. So I know what that looks like in the legacy markets. Okay. And obviously we had many more crashes after that. So I'm kind of familiar with what goes on in the stock market and the Forex market. Now, cryptocurrency is new and it's stepping into the legacy markets. But now Wall Street stepped into the crypto market. We're all buzzing about the ETF, yeah, but now you've got legacy market mindset in cryptocurrency. That means if Wall Street is selling off, cryptocurrency is probably going to sell off. And that's a pain in the back. I'm not trying to kill anyone's joy here. I'm trying to get you to understand there's two sides of this game. And if you're too married to one idea, then you are a collector of Bitcoin, and that is okay. But if you're here to make money, you've got to take both angles. You've got to take both avenues. It can mess up if NASDAQ doesn't do too well. It can mess up today like it did. Bitcoin dropped for what reason? What reason did Bitcoin really have to drop? Some well moved some money. So what? The bonds market kind of put things into perspective. That led to the NASDAQ to drop off. That led to the S&P to drop off. That led to investors getting rid of exposure, maybe Bitcoin. Put it back into dollar because they didn't want that bond. And Bitcoin dropped. I capitalized it. I scalped it. Done. And that's what you got to do, in my opinion. Is ETH dead? No, I don't think Ethereum is dead. No, I don't. Listen, guys, cryptocurrency will go up and cryptocurrency will go down. Will go down. There is nothing indefinite about crypto. Likewise, there's nothing indefinite about the stock market. And that is the truth. Now, look, time to move to Casper. Haha, Bitcoin miners are migrating. Tino, change your shirt. No, why do I need to change my shirt? Do you understand? I have to go all the way upstairs and I have to come all the way downstairs. I got to move all this item here, but at least I got beautiful internet. 400 upload, baby. We ain't getting no interruption here. Can't tell these crypto meatheads nothing. They're so liquidity. Look, man, listen, for me, guys, it's not about they are sell liquidity. They are. That's the sad truth. One man's fun is another's hell. And when you come to accept that you can't check, you know what? I watched the video. Let me just put something into perspective for you all. I watched this video on Twitter, X, and it's this woman who's a neurological scientist, and she tells us about the brain. And she says, do you know how hard it is to get to change someone's mind? The biological process of trying to change someone's mind is actually unbelievable. They can't see you. It can't be done. And this is why it's hard to change someone's mind. Me saying to you, Bitcoin slumped to the downside is challenging your logic in your head that Bitcoin can't do that. You're trying to make me believe that that could happen. And I'm not trying to make you believe. I'm trying to get you to be aware that it's something that could happen. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. But when you're sat there with your profits and you're like, yeah, baby, this is live. I am cool with the BTC. And then you look left and then you look right and then Bitcoin slumps. You can't panic. Because the logic that I'm giving you is preparing you for uncertainty. Because that's the name of the game that you are in. And if you're trying to control what you want to happen next, you're going to get slapped. Believe me, I was getting slapped up by the market. It's my best friend. I'm kind of scared of the market. I respect it. So when it gives me something, I take it. Humbly. I really do. And that's why I say to you all, don't allow your profit to be an idea that you want to see fulfilled. Like the idea of falling in love with the idea of being in love. That will get you slapped up worse than a liquidation. Trust me. You see a profit, take it and go. Start again. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves a wonderful night. Mad love and respect. Make sure you tune into tomorrow with the fastest internet you can find. Take care of yourselves, gang. Mad love. Peace. Where's the exit on this? I don't believe this. Sam! Sam! Dude!